In this video, we'll solve Cambridge GCSE Paper 4 Extended, Variant 4-3, October-November 2018, question number 5 onwards. Question number 5. A factory recycles metal. The mass X tons of metal is measured every week. And the table shows the results for 52 weeks. So the frequency is 52. Calculate an estimate of the mean. When you have group data, you have to find the midpoint and then multiply it by the frequency. To find the mid-interval of the group, we are going to add these two numbers and divide by 2. So 200 plus 100 divided by 2 will give us 150. The same we are going to do for each one. 250 plus 300 divided by 2 will be 275. And this will give us 400. After this step, we multiply 150 by 8, 225 by 20, 275 by 12, and 400 by 12. So when you multiply the midpoint with the frequency, this is what you get. To find the mean, we use this formula, the sum of the frequency multiplied by the midpoint divided by n. N is your total frequency. Therefore, mean is equal to, the sum will be 1200 plus 4500 plus 4800 divided by the total frequency. Total frequency we know is 52. 265.38. We can round it to 3 significant figures, so that's our answer, 265 tons. In A2, we have been given a grid and the frequency density and the mass is written here. On the grid, draw a histogram to show the information in the table. So this information we have to plot it on the table. We should know that we need to find frequency density. To find frequency density, we use the formula frequency density is equal to frequency over class width. This is your frequency, and to find class width, we subtract from the upper value the lower value. So for the first bar, we'll find frequency density by writing 8, and the class width is 200 minus 100, which is 100. You will have 0.08. The same we will do with all the bars. And we have found the frequency density for all the 4 bars. On the grid, you can see that this is 0, 0.1. So each line here represents 0.2. So the first bar is between 100 and 200. So we start from 100 till 200. It's 0.08. This will be your first bar. The second is 0.4, but till 250. 250 is here and 0.4 is here. So this is the bar that we have to draw. And the third one is 0.24. This is 0.2, so 0.4 is going to be here. And it is still 300. And the final one, 0.06, from 300 till 500. So the histogram is finished. Moving on to the next part of the question. Another factory also recycles metal, and the cumulative frequency diagram shows the result. This is the mass in tons, and this is the cumulative frequency. Part 1. For how many days was the mass measured? So we need to find the frequency. We can see from the diagram, it's 100 days. Part 2. Find an estimate of the median. To find the median, you divide the frequency by 2. That will give you the position on the y-axis. and then you find the corresponding x value. So 100 divided by 2 is 50. Remember that this is your position on the y-axis, and that will give you the corresponding x value. Each line in the grid is 2, therefore the median is 56. Part 3, find an estimate of the upper quartile. To find the upper quartile, we have to find 3/4 of the frequency. Again, that will give you the position only. So 3/4 of 100 is 75. So 75 is here, and we have to find the corresponding y value, which is 62. Sorry, x value. Find an estimate of the interquartile range. To find the interquartile range, we subtract from the upper quartile the lower quartile. Upper quartile we already found. We have to find the lower quartile. To find the lower quartile, we find 1/4 of the frequency. Again, that will give you the position, and then you find the corresponding x value. 25 is here, it's 38. Therefore, 62 minus 38 is 24. Last part of the question, find an estimate of the number of days when the mass was greater than 20 tons. 20 tons is here. So that is how many days? 12 days. All these days have a mass of more than 20 tons. So how many days are that? 100 minus 12, 88 days. Question number 6. We have been given two triangles and we have to find angle ACB. So this is the angle that we need to find, ACB. Three sides have been given. When three sides have been given and you have to find an angle, we use the cosine rule, which is cos A is equal to B square plus C square minus A square over 2BC. The only thing you need to remember, if you want to find this angle, then the opposite side will be after the minus. So let's put in the values that we have. Cos C will equal to 13 square plus 4 square. It doesn't make a difference if I write this first or this first. The only thing is that the angle opposite must be after the minus. So minus 11 square over 2 times 13 times 4. No need to simplify it. The whole thing you can put in the calculator. Cos inverse 13 square plus 4 square minus 11 square over 2 times 13 times 4. And we will get that angle C is equal to 52.0, so 52 degrees. Part B, calculate angle ACD. So we need to find this angle here, ACD. When two angles and two sides are involved, we use the sine rule. So this is the rule we will use. The only problem here is we do not have the opposite side. To use the sine rule, you need to have the angle and the opposite side. Before finding angle ACD, we'll need to find angle DAC. The reason being we have the opposite side for it. So let's write down sine D, which is sine 80 over the opposite side, which is 13, is equal to We want to find A, so I'll write the A here. Sine A over the corresponding sine 8. Therefore, sine A is equal to sine 18 over 13 multiplied by 8. And A will equal to sine inverse this whole answer. Whenever you want to find the angle and you move the sign to the other side, you have to write sine inverse. And we will get 37.3. That is A. To find C, you need to know that all the three angles equal to 180. So these three angles, when you add them, they equal to 180. Therefore, angle ACD will equal to 180 minus 80 minus 37.3, and we'll get 62.7 degrees. Part C, calculate the area of the quadrilateral ABCD. The quadrilateral is made up of two triangles, triangle 1 and triangle 2, and they are both not right angle triangle. So if you have to find the area of a triangle which is not a right angle triangle, we use the formula. So this is the formula we use: half AB sine C. AB are your two sides and sine C is your angle in between the two sides. For area 1, we will use these two sides and the included angle. And for area 2, we will use these two sides and the included angle. So let's write area 1 is equal to half times 13 times 8 times sine 62.7, 46.2. The second area we will use 13, this 13 here, and 4 into sine 52. This will give us 20.488, rounding it to one decimal, 20.5. So total area will equal the sum of area 1 and area 2. 46.2 plus 20.5 will give us 66.7 square centimeters. Question number 7. So we have been given two bags, bag A and bag B, and the number of balls in bag A are 3 and white balls are 2. In bag B, 1 black ball and 3 white balls. Part A ball is taken at random from each bag. Show that a black ball is more likely to be taken from bag A than from bag B. So what is the probability of a black ball from bag A? The probability of a black ball is in A. There are 3 black balls and the total number of balls are 5. Write it in a decimal form, you will get 0.6. In bag A, the probability of getting a black ball is 1 over 4, which is equal to 0.25. As we can see, 0.6 is greater than 0.25. The probability of getting a black ball is more likely from bag A than from bag B. Part 2. Find the probability that the two balls have different colors. So one ball we are picking up from bag A and one from bag B, and they should be of different colors. It could be that the first ball is a black ball. So from bag A it is a black ball and from bag B it is a white ball. Or it could be that from bag A you are removing a white ball and from the bag B you are removing a black ball. So what is the probability of a black ball in bag A? We already know it's 3 over 5. And what about the white in bag B? There are 3 whites, so 3, and the total number of balls are 4. And then finding the probability of white in bag A, there are 2 whites, therefore 2 over 5 multiplied by the probability of black in a bag B, which is 1 over 4. This will give you 11 over 20. Part B, the balls are returned to their original bags. 3 balls are taken at random from bag A without replacement. Find the probability that they are all black. If it is without replacement, the total number of balls keep reducing. So let's start. The probability of the first ball being black is 3 over 5 because there are 3 black balls and total 5 balls. You removed 1 black ball. So how many black balls are remaining now? 2. And the total number of balls, 4. Now what is the probability of the third ball being black? 1 over 3. 6 over 60. The next question, find the probability that they are all white. The probability of all white balls will be 0 because the first white ball, the probability of the first ball being white is what? 2 over 5. So now one ball is gone. The second ball being white is 1 over 4. That ball is gone. The third ball being a white is 0. You don't have any more white balls remaining. This will give you 0 as the answer. Part C, the balls are returned to the original bags. A ball is taken at random from bag A and its color recorded. This ball is then placed in bag B. A ball is then taken at random from bag B. Find the probability that the ball taken from bag B has a different color to the ball taken from bag A. So let's write down the options. It could be that the first ball from the bag A is white, then from bag B, the probability of black we have to choose because it has to be a different color. Or it could be, or always means you add, from bag A you removed a black ball, and from bag B you will have a white ball. What is the probability of a white ball in bag A? 2 over 5. So suppose you took this white ball and you kept it in bag B. How many black balls you will have now? 1 over 5. Because we added one ball, the total will change. Then, if you had taken a black ball from bag A, what is the probability? 3 over 5. So you added one black ball here. What is the probability of white going to be? 3 over 5. And this will give us 11 over 25. Question number 8. We have been given two triangles and DC is parallel to AB. They intersect at right angles and AB is 10 centimeter, AX is 8, BX is 6 and DC is 5 centimeter. Use similar triangles to calculate DX. Because these lines are parallel, we know that angle CDX will equal angle XAB because alternate angles are equal. In the same way, angle DCX will equal XBA. So first thing, when you have a similar triangle like this, to make things easier, draw the two separate triangles here on the side. We are going to use the ratio way. We want to find dx. What is the corresponding side? Ax. Therefore, dx over ax is equal to, which side has been given to us? DC, and the corresponding side AB. Replace the values that you have got. Dx over 8 is equal to 5 over 10. Therefore, dx is equal to 5 over 10 times 8, and that will give us 4 centimeter. Calculate angle XAP. So this is the angle we need to find, and because it's a right angle triangle, we are going to use trigonometry to find the angle. I hope you are aware of the trigonometric identities. So means sine is equal to opposite over hypotenuse. Opposite is this side and hypotenuse is the side opposite the right angle. Cos is equal to adjacent over hypotenuse. Adjacent is the side next to the angle, not the hypotenuse, the other side. And tan is equal to opposite over adjacent. You can choose whichever trig identity you want for this because all the three sides are given. I'm going to choose sine. So therefore, sine A is equal to opposite over hypotenuse. A is equal to sine inverse. Whenever you move the trig identity to the other side, it becomes the inverse of 6 over 10. This will give us 36.86, rounded to 1 decimal place, 36.9. In part B, we have been given a circle with a lot of angles included, and we have to find the values of V, W, X, and Y. We will start by finding V here. For this, we'll use the circle theorem. Angle at the center is twice the angle at the circumference. So we have T here and P here. Angle O starts from T and P, and it is at the center. The other angle which starts from T and P is S. So this is the angle at the circumference. If S is 75, O is going to be double of it, which is 75 multiplied by 2, 150. To find W, this is W here, you can see that it is a part of a triangle OPT. And OP is a radius and OT is a radius. This is the circle theorem you need to know. Triangle formed with the two sides as radius is an isosceles triangle. So this triangle is an isosceles triangle. This whole thing is also W. To find W, we already found V, which is 150. Therefore, 2W plus 150 is equal to 180. 2W is equal to 180 minus 150, which is 30. Divide by 2. This is a multiply. When you bring to the other side, it will be a divide. W is equal to 15. So this is 15. To find angle X, we are going to use the circle theorem. Angles in the same segment from a common chord are equal. So we have angle X from PRQ and PTQ is from the same chord. Therefore, W is equal to X. X is equal to 15. The last one, we have to find Y. Y is here. To find Y, we'll first find this angle. This is a triangle TS, and the sum angle property of a triangle is that you add all of them, it equals to 180. So this angle here will be 180 minus 85 minus 75. That will give us 20. If that angle is 20, this angle will also be 20 because vertically opposite angles are equal. Now we have found two angles, 20 and 150. To find y, again it is a sum angle property of a triangle. 180 minus 150 plus 20 will give you 10. So y is equal to 10 degrees. Part C. Two containers are mathematically similar. The surface area of the larger container is 226 and the smaller container is 94. The volume of the larger container is given. We have to find the volume of the smaller container. So the first thing we'll do is we'll find the scale factor. This is the larger container and this is the smaller container. The area of the larger container is 226 and the smaller container is 94. 226 multiplied by the scale factor square is equal to 94. So we will find k. This is a multiply, it will be a divide. Therefore, k is equal to 94, 226, square root of it. You can write it as a square root or as to the power of half. They are the same thing. Now we found our k. When you put in the calculator, you will get a decimal, so don't use the calculator for the moment. Volume of the larger container is 680 cubic centimeter, and we have to find the volume of the small container. We found our scale factor. To find the volume, we cube our scale factor. So 680 multiplied by 94 over 226 to the power of half, and this whole thing is cubed. So basically you have 680 multiplied by 94 over 226 bracket, half multiplied by 3, 3 over 2. This whole thing now we'll put in the calculator to get the answer. 182.4 cubic centimeter. Question number 9. We have been given f of x, g of x and h of x. A, find g of half. This means that wherever there is x in g of x, we'll replace it with half. So this is equal to 2 bracket half minus 1. The answer is 0. Next is f of h negative 1. So first we go from inside out. Let's find h of negative 1. H of negative 1 will be 3 to the power of negative 1, which will give us 1 over 3. Now this will substitute in f of x. So we'll have 3, 1 over 3 plus 4. This will give us 5. So f of h of negative 1 is 5. Find a g inverse x. G inverse x, so we will write down, in place of g of x, we'll write y. Y is equal to 2x minus 1, and we have to make x the subject. Y plus 1 is equal to 2x. Divide by 2, y plus 1 over 2 is equal to x. Now that you have made x the subject, in place of write g inverse x is equal to, and in place of y, write x. X plus 1 over 2. So that's our answer, x plus 1 over 2. Define f of x in its simplest form. It means that f, which is 3x plus 4, will substitute in place of x. So f of x is equal to 3. In place of x, we'll put f of x, which is 3x plus 4. And the 4 is also there. Expand the bracket. 3 multiplied by 4, 12 plus 4, 9x plus 16. Next question. Find f of x square in the form ax square plus bx plus c. F of x is 3x plus 4. So we have to square it. You can either use the identity, which is a very good idea to learn, as you are going to use it for all the years that you do maths. So this is the identity a plus b square is equal to a square plus 2ab plus b square. In this question, our a is 3x and b is 4. We are just going to replace it. So 3x square plus 2 multiply by a, which is 3x, multiply by b, which is 4, plus b square, which is 4 square. The 2 is for the 3 and the x, so it will be 9x square plus 2 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 4, 24x plus 16. For f, find x when h inverse x is equal to g over 2. H of x is 3 to the power of x. You have not learned how to find the inverse of this when the power is x. But there's a short way to do it. First, we'll find g of 2. G of 2 is going to be, in place of x, we'll replace 2. And you will get 3. So you have to, h of x is 3 to the power of x. And h inverse x is equal to g of 2, which is 3. So the trick way here is that whatever this number you get, to find x, you will, in place of this x here, you will put that power. So 3 to the power of 3 will give you 27. I hope you understood it. Question number 10. This is a sequence question and it is in fraction. Whenever you have in fraction and the top numbers are 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, like they are consecutive numbers, you solve the top separately and the down separately. Let's find the next term first. You can see that we are adding 1 every time. So 7 plus 1 is 8. And in the denominator, we are adding 2. 13 plus 2, 15. So the next term is 8 over 15. To find the nth term, we'll first find the nth term for the numerator. We use the formula a plus n minus 1d, where a is your first term, n is your nth term, and d is your difference. So in the numerator, your a is 3 and your difference is 1. Expand the bracket, you will have 3 plus n minus 1, which is equal to n. 3 minus 1 is 2, so n plus 2. That's your numerator. Now for the denominator, we are going to use the same rule, a plus n minus 1 d. The a is 5 and your difference is 2. Expand the bracket, 5 plus 2n minus 2. This will give you 2n plus 3. That is in your denominator. So this is your nth term. There's a shorter way to find the nth term if it is an arithmetic sequence. Let's do the first one. Here your difference is 1. So it is 1n. Whatever your difference is there, subtract it from the first term. 3 minus 2 is, 3 minus 1 is 2. So n plus 2 is your answer. The same we'll do for the denominator. What difference you have? 2. We write 2n. And then subtract 2 from your first term. 5 minus 2 plus 3. So that's an easier way to solve arithmetic sequence. B, find the nth term of each sequence. B1, this is -1, -3, -5. So the difference here is -2. We will use this method which I showed you to solve it. You have -2, so we are going to write -2n. And the difference is -2, so subtract it from the first term. Remember, the -2 is the difference and this is a subtraction. So negative 1 minus minus 2 will give you plus 1. So this is your answer. We have been given these numbers. Let's find the difference between the numbers. This is plus 7 and here it is plus 19. They are not constant, and the next will be plus 37. So we can see they are not constant. Then you try the next difference. So 19 minus 7 is 12. So 7 plus 12. Then 37 minus 19 is 18. Your second difference is also not constant. It means it is not a quadratic sequence. When they give you a cubic sequence, this has to be related to cubic. It's not arithmetic, geometric, or quadratic. There must be some shortcut that they give you. Let's write down n cube. So we will have 1 to the power of 1, 1 to the power of 3, 2 to the power of 3, 3 to the power of 3, 4 to the power of 3. This will give us 1, 8, 27, and 64. What do you notice? For each number here, there is one more. Therefore, our sequence is n cube plus 1. Brings us to the end of this video. I hope I've helped you. Thank you for watching. Kindly subscribe to my channel, like the video, and share it with your friends.